feel it almost like there's a little magnet on that forehead and that hand's starting to get closer and closer and closer all by itself. And you don't need to worry about a thing because your legs and back will support you. And you can just close your eyes down and allow that hand to continue to float all by itself. Will she go into hypnosis? You're going to have to watch the full video and find out. I got another video request, this time from the girl you saw in the background, the lovely Wren, who has the purple hair and the green cape. She's going to be featured in this video and another video. She's not going to be hypnotised in this video, so you're going to have to keep watching to see her going into hypnosis. But there's her comment. She says, I was amazed that I was hypnotised. So lovely to see that you loved the experience of being hypnotised, but you're not going to see that one this week. So keep watching, keep subscribing to this channel so you'll see when Wren pops up in the future. Hopefully maybe next week I'll show you Wren's video of her being hypnotised. This week we're going to focus on Ash, who was not the best of hypnotic subjects, but I'm back into tutorial mode because I'm going to explain why and what went on in this video. So keep watching inside, I'm going to tell you more. Hi, my name's Taran Mirza. I'm a hypnotist and clinical hypnotherapist, and every week I show you some hypnosis, and then often in a tutorial fashion, as I'm going to do this week, I'm going to break down some background information about what was happening in the hypnosis. This week we're doing some street hypnosis, and I'm going to show you a short clip where, as I said at the beginning, Ash was not the perfect subject, and there's going to be reasons why things didn't go as planned. Before I start the camera rolling, I approach the three girls you see in this video. You see Ash, you see Wren, and you see the girl in red. As I say that, I think of Star Trek, and you know what happens to the people that are dressed in red, but we won't labour on that. Let's swiftly move on. And Ash quickly says, yes, I'd like to be hypnotised. So she is my first volunteer. Now, for hypnosis to happen, you need simply four things. One, you need to have the skills and knowledge as to how hypnosis works, and hopefully you'll agree I've got that over the 10-12 years that I've been doing this stuff. Two, you need to have the intent to hypnotise someone, and again, I have that. I was going to this event, as I have been going to the event since 2014, and I enjoy hypnotising people, so I had the clear intent that I was going to hypnotise someone today. Thirdly, you need to have a willing subject. That is very important. A lot of people think hypnosis can be done to anyone whether they want it or not. You have to have an agreement, you have to have a willing subject. The probably simplest way to highlight that you can't hypnotise someone that doesn't want to be or is not expecting it is if you think about, well, you know, you never see people robbing a bank using hypnosis because it doesn't work. If the bank teller is not willing, if the bank teller is not in that mindset to be hypnotised and doesn't want to volunteer, it's not going to work. There's a small chance it might work, but if you try this, the small chance will outweigh the larger chance that it won't work, and you'll get arrested for trying to do that sort of stuff. So that's, I think, probably the clearest, obvious reason why, you know, you need a willing subject. Finally, the fourth reason is you've got to simply follow the instructions. You've got to have that trust in the hypnotist that you can just follow the instructions as he asks you or she asks you to do something, you will just do it. So, without further ado, let's watch Ash in action, and then stay tuned after the video is finished because I'll continue to talk about, in a tutorial fashion, what was happening and going through Ash's mind that might have stopped things from being as perfect as they could be. Don't want to put more of a spoiler alert than that in, but keep watching and see what I mean. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget, click the big red subscribe button and that bell notification button next to the subscribe button so you get notified every time a new video comes out from myself. And if you have any comments about this video, leave it in the comment section below. As you see here, I'm putting this first video of two videos starring the lovely Wren because she left a comment in the comment section, and I like to respond to your comments, whether it's a question, whether it's a request to be shown after you were videoed by myself. I love to read your comments, I love to respond to your comments, so please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you want to contact me, check out the description section. The description section has quick links, so if you want to watch the street hypnosis several times, you can go straight to that section because I've marked that in the sort of timestamp, also in the timeline below here in the video, if you're watching this on YouTube that is, and you'll go straight to the street hypnosis section. But enough of that, let's watch the video.
what I do.
Right.
Okay, I've never been hypnotised before.
You've never been hypnotised before, but you're ready to be hypnotised by me.
Yeah.
Can I actually turn that off?
Are you gonna unlock like my childhood drama?
I'm not going to unlock your childhood drama. That's the good news, okay?
Okay.
It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy the experience, and everybody's going to be entertained in a good way.
Okay.
You're not going to do anything silly, okay? Right. So what's your name?
Ash.
Ash. Look at your hand. Look at the lines in your hand. Pick one spot and one line.
Okay.
And just look at that spot. Notice how as I push that hand towards your forehead, that hand starts to drift all by itself.
Oh.
There you go. And that starts to draw towards your forehead. There you go. Feel it almost like there's a little magnet on that forehead and that hand starting to get closer and closer and closer all by itself. And you don't need to worry about a thing because your legs and back will support you. And you can just close your eyes down and allow that hand to continue to float all by itself. And in a moment it's going to touch your forehead. When it touches your forehead, your hand will drop down by your side, your head dropping down to your chest. There you go. You were a bit worried there.
Yeah.
You were a bit worried there.
Okay.
What's your worry?
I thought I was gonna hit myself in the face.
You weren't going to hit yourself in the face. Don't you worry about that there. Tell you what, let's do something else. Put your hands out like this here. Okay. Now, put your fingers tight together. And I want you to stare at a spot right between those two hands. Stare at a spot right between those two hands. Now close your eyes down and continue to imagine that spot right there. Just imagine that spot right there. As you can imagine, there's very strong magnets. Here we go. Oh, right.
Do I keep my eyes closed?
You keep your eyes closed.
Okay, okay.
All right. Tell you what, let's do a little fun trick before we get started.
Okay.
Is everybody up to this? Is not hypnosis, but I'll show you if you can follow instructions. All you have to do to go into hypnosis is follow instructions. Right. You're going to have to set your things down in your hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a wee pile here.
That's it.
So,
if you want, I can get you to stop that if you want.
okay.
Maybe enjoy it.
Is he recording in this time? I did this in 2019.
There you go. There you go.
So what now?
Right. Put your hands out like this here. Okay. Now, to go into hypnosis, all you have to do is follow my instructions. So follow my instructions very closely. Do this. Now, I've got my left hand up, and you've all got your right hand up. So you're not following instructions. Shake, 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 shake. Do this. Okay. Hands like this. Do that. Thumbs down. Put your hands over. Cross them over and interlock your fingers tight, tight, tight. That's it. Now, wriggle your left thumb. Make sure, perfect, perfect. Left thumb's in the bottom. Now, put your two fingers out. Tap them together. Do this.
I did it wrong.
You all did it wrong. Right, you have to follow instructions, okay? So just follow instructions and you can go into hypnosis and enjoy yourself. Okay, so once again, put your hands out like this here. So I hope you liked that video. That was, for me, lots of laughs, lots of fun, and there's more fun coming up with Wren. So I'll put a link to that video when it's released. It's probably not going to be released on the date of this video, but check out the info bars above and you'll see a little info pop up when that video is released. But in terms of Ash, well, as you saw, she didn't go into hypnosis. She wasn't induced into hypnosis. What happened there? I talked about the four main things. You need experience, you need the skills, you need the intent as a hypnotist. You also need the subject to be a willing subject. Was she a willing subject? Well, as you saw in that video, she was a willing subject. She said, yes, I want to be hypnotized. You know, that's what you need. And she moved forward. She didn't run away from me. She didn't shy away from me. She didn't say no thanks. So she was a willing subject. That's all you really need in a willing subject, is that, you know, forwardness to come forward and say, yes, I've never done this before, let's do it. But did she trust me? That's the question. Now, this is not an insult to Ash. If she didn't trust me 30 seconds before the video started rolling, she'd never met me before, I'd never met her before. I'm a total stranger to her. And anyone with any sense just doesn't trust every stranger that walks up. But I was walking up there with a camera person, I was dressed, I was, you know, clearly enunciating who I was, but it's still not an insult if she doesn't trust me. She has to build that rapport, that trust, that's so much important, the fourth and final part of getting someone to move forward and be hypnotized. And right from the start, as I'm checking my on-person microphone is working, she says, well, I've never been hypnotized before. Again, that's not an issue. 99% of the people I've hypnotized have never been hypnotized before. And I like that, because I'm not revivifying, I'm not re-engaging a trance that someone else has done before. So this is nice, I'm happy with that situation. But then she tags on another comment, "You're not going to release some of my childhood dramas, are you?" Now, she said it in jest, she's sort of laughing about it, but somewhere at the back of her mind there was enough of a thought for that to come out of her mouth. So there's a little bit of a red flag that she's worried, what's going to happen here? Is he going to take my PIN number off my credit card and maybe take the credit card while I have my eyes closed? Who knows what's going on through her mind? And again, it's not an insult to Ash to think this way. You know, there's a lot of movies with a lot of misconceptions about what hypnosis is, so it's natural that she should talk and think this way. But it is the start of the little red flag. So I move into the pattern interrupt. I go to shake her hand and move her hand up to her face and ask her to look at her hand. Now, I say her hand's going to start moving towards her face, and I ask her to close her eyes down. So I'm giving her instructions. While I haven't explained this to her off camera, or as you saw on camera, I didn't explain to her you need to follow instructions, but we've got into that pattern of stand up straight, put your hand up, you know, close your eyes down. I'm giving her instructions and she's following it. But as her hand starts to move in that unconscious movement, now I'm not controlling her, I'm not making her hand move, I'm not touching her hand at that point to make it move forward. Her unconscious mind is moving her hand forward, but she does seem to get a bit, you know, spooked out by that because she opens her eyes. And I, you know, check in with her. I say, "Are you worried?" And she says, "Yeah, I was a bit worried there. I thought my hand was going to slap my face or smack my face." Again, you know, she doesn't know, and all people that go into hypnosis for the first time, they don't know what they're going to experience and what's going to happen. So it's not a fault on her part. It's just a lack of understanding of what hypnosis is. Now, in the therapy room, in a different setting, I'm going to explain these things in a bit more details, but out on the street, when you're doing street hypnosis, you want to be quick, you want to be snappy, and for that reason, we minimize what we're doing in terms of the long explanations that are going to maybe bore the audience, or maybe even bore the subject because they're just out to have a good time. They just want to be hypnotized. So that's the difference with street hypnosis over therapy, that this is quick, and for that reason sometimes these misconceptions and these barriers will be in place, and you've got to expect that and sometimes not get that perfect hypnosis experience. So I move on to the magnetic hands. I say I'll give it another go, and hopefully, as you saw in that video, I sort of segued very smooth. I said, right, now put your hands out like this here and just focus on a point between your two hands and close your eyes down again. Now, hopefully, the idea was, from the first experience, I wanted her to understand she needed to keep her eyes closed. But once again, she felt something. As I tapped her hand, she opened her eyes. As much as I was saying, you just imagine there's magnets in the palms of your hands. You went, oh, you know. At that point, I was reading that she was just not prepared as much as she thought she was to go into hypnosis. At that point, I feel like we need to do something else just to break this panic and worry about what's going to happen next. And I decided to move on to the little hand over hand routine that I often do just as an icebreaker. It's not hypnosis, it's not hypnotic in any way, but it's a little fun thing that breaks the ice and makes people relax a bit more. So as you see, I move on to that, and that was a great success. If you haven't figured that out, there is a trick to it. They're not supposed to be able to do what I'm doing, and that's exactly what happened, and it breaks the ice and allows me to explain to people that you have to follow instructions. So to see what happens next, you're going to have to watch the next video with the lovely Wren being the star of that video. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget, click the big red subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get notified when there's a new video coming out from myself. If you have any comments and any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Love reading your comments, love responding to them, so please do leave me your comments. Tell me what you think of this video. Did you learn something from this? And if Wren's watching, drop a comment in the comment section below. I want to see that you've seen this video and you're waiting for the next video to come out very shortly. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and see you soon.